Okay, so welcome to the video. This video is the second part of the GGMC audio. It's about the mixer. So the essential job for this mixer is capturing all the sound from the mics and the sounds from the mics, the piano and the bass, and then processing the sound, and then sending the sound to the main speaker and then the aux. So the main speaker that I'm referring to is a big speaker under the table connected to the speakers on top. Then the aux would be the monitors that is connected in front of the piano and the singer and the bass and the drum. So first of all, we'll look at the gain. So the gain is essentially the knob that most critical and the most sensitive knob. It controls the whole sound of that line. So it's good if you understand a mixer as a line. It's essentially duplicate of one of these. If you look at the gain, and here's a very famous example of a house water supply. The gain is like the main water pipe source of the house. Right. So then, for example, aux 1 would be the sink, aux 2 would be the table, toilet, and then the main speaker would be like the washing machine, for example. Right. Then if you reduce the gain, the house water supply will overall decrease. If you increase the gain, the water supply will increase. That's the basics of it. And then obviously you can control individually aux 1 or 2 and then the main. So then, if you think it like it, it's very basic. You can ignore these ones. We'll talk about later, but these are the main ones that we kind of use to control the sound. Now the question is then, what is aux 1 and 2, and the main? So the main is the sound is you can control how much sound that goes into the main speaker, right? Well, and the aux 1 and 2. So aux 1 is always connected to the piano, and aux 2 is connected to the singer. If you look at this side, you'll see aux 1 and 2. The green is aux 1 and blue is aux 2. So if we look at the basic setup, aux 1 is turned off for every line except for this one. This one is the piano line. So if we turn on the aux 1, if we send the sound of the piano to aux 1, which essentially we increase the aux 1 knob, the sound of the piano will be transmitted to the to aux 1 to this line, and essentially to the piano monitor. That's why all of others are turned off except the piano. So the monitor, we can hear the piano sound very clearly. And the aux 2 is mainly for the singer, right? So then aux 2, there's quite a bit of sound that goes to aux 2 because the singer wanted different sounds. So the singer wanted the piano sound and her voice, and the guitar sound. So then we'll turn on, let's say for example this is the guitar line, and that's the piano line, and this is her voice line. We will turn on her voice. We'll turn on her voice line, her guitar line, and then her the piano line. So then all three of these sound will be going to the singer's sound. The purpose of the monitor is it helps the singer or the pianist to listen to their sound more clearly, and that's basically it. And then the yellow knob over here below aux 2 is called the pan. It's essentially like deciding which side we want to send the sound to. For example, if we turn the pan to the left, the sound will will be only transmitted to the left side of the speaker. But we don't really use it, so it's always on the straight line. So make sure the yellow one is always straight and it's in 0. So the EQ, it's essentially like making the tone nice. Yeah, tone shaping. This gray and white part is the EQ. There's HF and MF and LF. HF is the high tone of a voice, and MF the middle, the low, LF is the low one. So in a voice, there is also a high pitch and a low pitch. Okay, and by the way, this I'm not sure if it's 100% right. It's just I'm just telling you what I understand and how I just do it. Yeah, but essentially that's so. Then if we want to, so then if we increase the LF, for example, it is emphasizing the low pitch or the deep voice. Yeah. And then if we increase the HF, it's kind of like emphasizing the high pitch sound. I'm not sure if that's right. But the rule here is that the MF doesn't really matter, but what matters is like in a men's typical voice, we would reduce the LF since the men's voice are like more deep and like low. We'll reduce it so that the sound is not emphasized, but also but increase the HF to emphasize more of the high pitch sound. I said increasing the HF, but that's not really like mathematically correct because, as you can see, unlike aux1 is 0 is here, and then it goes up to 10 or something. This one is like the 0 is in the middle. There's negative, this part is the negative, and that part is the positive. But for LF, we really rarely put the HF above 0. So it's gonna be around 0 to negative 15, or actually like 0 to negative 9. I would say it's around here, because if the HF goes above 0, it will make the beep sound. Then whenever so make sure the HF is around negative 9 to 0. So that's the range of the HF. And the LF, we also don't make it positive too. We just go around to like 0 to like negative 12. So that's kind of the range of it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, the EQ, unless you really like touch a lot of it, I have already set up this EQ already, so you don't really have to like touch it too much or like adjust it too much. Yeah, and then the red button here is the mute switch. The gray button, you don't have to. This actually, like, the gray button, it always has to be unpressed, I would say. So the pressed form is is this form. If we press and lower the button, it means the sound, the whole sound is muted. Right, and then if you unpress, or like if you unpress the button like this, if it goes on top, it means the sound is unmuted. It's muted, unmuted. But the gray one, we always have to unmute it. Honestly, I don't know what this button is for, but if you press the button, the sounds get really weird. So we always have to unpress this one. So, and then there's this peak, there's this red bulb. It means peak, right? It says PQ. It means that the sound, or 6, I don't know, it's too much, right? The sound is too big. So what we have to do is we have to turn down the gain knob, preventing harsh distortion and speaker damage. Yeah. So make sure the peak is not there. It's not showing. And then this one is for the main speaker. You can ignore the blue ones, right? Ignore these two lines. But here we have it's like the main, it's controlling the sound for the main one. The yellow control here is the master one, so it controls all the sound, all the overall sound of that goes to the master. And this one is normally like is that -10, or like it's around -5 to, no, is it 15? So it's this range normally. And we can also individually control the sound. So if we want to have more sound of this line, we can increase it more, and then the sound will be more sent to the main speakers. I have actually the tape over here. It's actually written in Korean, but this one, the second lane, it says 리더님. It's the singer. It's for the singer. This one is 목사님. So the third one is for the pastor. It says 일렉, but it's for the guitar. And lastly, it says piano. So this one is for the piano or the keyboard. Oh, and then if you have seen the setup video, there's this bass monitor. Oh, there's also a bass monitor, but this one is different from aux. Aux, we can individually control what sound there is, but for the monitor that is connected to the bass, it is the overall sound, so we can't control what sounds go in or out. So essentially, we control the bass monitor knob, the sound, through the red knob on the left top. It says monitor, right? Yeah, I mean, that's it. Also, okay, yeah, I forgot to mention, but be careful not to increase the aux too much, especially for the singer. If the aux 2 is too high, it'll kind of make a howling between the microphone and the speaker at the monitor. So then we would have to kind of reduce the sound aux 2. Yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll help you as much as I can. It's not gonna be easy to like understand all of them with one video. But just play around with the mixer, and the point of this is not to like have a good sound, or it's just our main purpose is to just get at least some sound, right? So don't feel too pressured or stressed. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.